Hey, they still got the warning up that if I don't get 1,000 subscribers, I ain't doing no more lives. Well, I'm not looking for subscribers. I'm not looking for likies. I'm not looking for money. This is, let me say this is, first of all, this is me, T, 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 from the Pattersons, taking the train to Tibet. Hey, Mr. Slowly, he's up, he's awake. Well, I know that. Anyway, the point is, uh, this is what I do on Instagram. We're talking on Instagram right now, Instagram Live, and it spun off from the original a long time ago. Like how long? Whenever I 95, whenever it was, and I started my no, when I really started on YouTube, I guess you would say it's 2013, 14, and the idea was really just to it's like my an audio memoir, my living memoir. Let's put it that way. So I didn't want no likes. I don't ask no likes, no shares, no nothing like that. It's for archival purposes only. That's what it is. So there you go. Anyway, so now taking a little break because now all these years later, and I always advocate for everybody: get yourself what do you call that? A platform? What do you call these things? A presence on the Instagram, no, a presence on the internet. Right now, what you said? Why you want a presence on the internet, brother? Because everybody has something to say, but more importantly, that it's my own personal research thing. Let me tell you what this is about. I believe, right, that we all have in us what's going on, right? And so when we let it out, right, before the internet, everybody thought they was like isolated, or maybe I'm the only person thinking like this, and da da da, which is, well, not true. And I learned throughout the years, like people say, someone said to me one time, well, I said something, I was doing about audio drama, because that's what I'm an audio dramatist. And I just said, well, anybody could do this, right? Well, I was talking about, I train them up, whatever it is, and you can do it. And he looked at me, and he said, Anthony, nobody can do what you do. I understood what he said. Well, not at that point, I said, yeah, I brushed it off, kept on going. But I know what he's trying to say, right? Because the proof, I know what he's trying to say. Specifically, how I do stuff, and I keep on evolving, it's sort of, yeah, it is unique, okay? And not everybody can do that. But you have your own way of doing this and accomplishing the same thing, is what I'm trying to say, okay? For instance, years ago, I mean, this must have been about 10 years ago, I'm always railing, whatever, especially by a little group, a whole court sometimes, right? And I was, a long time, I was railing against something, South Africa. We're in South Africa right now. Actually, we're in Gibbevo, the village I live in with my wife. She's inside right there. She's still asleep. She wakes up late. I wake up early. I woke up with the sunrise, but I just came out here now. And the doggy's over there. See that? Let me see if you can see the doggy. See? Tiny. Oh, she sleep. She sleep like a... Where am I seeing that? I can see. Can you see the doggy there? She's laying down. I guess you can see her. I say you can. Anyway, you say, well, why are you showing the doggy? Well, the doggy. Oh, should I keep going? Okay, sorry. So, hello, pause there. The dog is pregnant, and I think she's a little less than 2 months, whatever, which means that any day now, in fact, I look, one of her nipples is sort of lactating, so sometime, maybe this week, the dog is going to drop. I don't know how many puppies. Look like maybe 7. Who knows? And it's a small doggy, so who knows what's going to happen. He's there. Yeah, oh, and so this will be the first time we have, I think I wasn't here, but I think she was pregnant before she lost them all or something like that. And over there, over that section, you can't see it, but the original dog, Anushka, that came with us when we moved here, she was pregnant, but they killed her. These people killed her because the dog kept, I don't know. Let me not revisit that because I was really upset. When I say they, I mean the village. Village life is like, oh boy. Now, we've been here, 3 years, something like that? And I say we, it's actually my wife. She controls this whole thing. We call, what does he call it? Call it something. This is her domain. Something like that. I don't make any decisions here. That's not true. I make decisions here, but I don't make decisions. That's marriage life. Forget that part. I wanted to do something else. Now, so I've been not doing a lot of the Instagram, just watching and see what people do. And what you learn is that a lot of people are saying the same things or using the same sources, And they're like, that's interesting. So I don't have to keep on doing what I do. But I do keep on doing what I do because I'm unique, and we're all unique. We have our unique kind of things. So anyway, let me take this top off. It was a little chilly this morning, but now it's getting to be it's getting to be what is it, spring? What are we moving into right now? Yeah, I guess we're just coming out of winter. We're still in winter, going to spring. Anyway, but I really notice certain things, when people are saying that people are repeating the same things or whatever it is, but nobody's not really original. But what happens is you find your niche, you find your person you follow, and they usually say the same things other people say, blah, blah, blah. Now, what's this all come from? This all comes from, remember, I'm media trained. I mean, really. It's come from perceptions. Where do you get perception? You get your perception from whatever's around you. So if I'm here every morning and the sun is doing what it's doing, and that's why me and the dog should be walking. Maybe I'll take the doggy for a walk in a little while. With the walkie, it's a different life, So my perception here in the village is different than when I'm in DeBrother, do my work in DeBrother. That's coming along swimmingly well. So there's a different perception. Or when I'm traveling, I do India every year for 3 months, So everything changes. The perception is different. So your perception changes according to your environment. Now, if you include in your environment, say the platforms, the internet, as well as the regular TV, as well as the movies and whatever else you have, the media, right? Then your perception is going to be shaped by those things, Now, if you read a lot, well, then you got to get into your own head. Then your perception, again, is going to be different than someone who doesn't read, because it's a whole different process when something's coming into your head through your head. I'll give you a better example. Like if you was to take, I just saw something on the internet. It's really this South Sudanese, or they're all the same. The Sudanese people. A sister from the Sudan was saying like, "Oh, Avatar, they just ripped off these are all Sudanese people." You've heard the thing, blue, black, and stuff like that. So black, they blue, and all that stuff, and the lankiness and all this. She went to this whole thing, and she's absolutely right. But then I look at the sources. Well, that's James Cameron. He doesn't have an original thing. Everybody thinks he's technology. Think about Silicon Valley. They're based on something, but he's technologically wonderful. But as a really a storyteller, maybe even as a filmmaker, you say, oh, he's good, right? But he's unoriginal. I'll take something. It was when Avatar is his greatest thing, but like she said, it's based on Sudanese people and a lot of the words and stuff like that. So I understand that. But you take Titanic, right? The great Titanic with Rose, Jack, Rose, Jack, Rose, Jack. Imagine three pages of dialogue. We're always saying Rose, Jack, Rose, Jack. Anyway, if you really look at the picture, there was a English film. I watch a lot of films. That was the Titanic. It was about the Titanic, right? It's the exact same story. Exact same story. The only difference is what James Cameron did. He wrapped that story, that original Titanic story that the British people, whatever, film industry did. And he basically wrapped a love story around Rose, Jack, Rose, around that same story. Really, along with the Heart of the Sea or whatever it is. So, but it was the same thing. So it's not like the nugget is still the nugget, the source is still the source, but, and you get that a lot. I remember, like right now, there's a whole lot of stuff happening to football. It's entertaining for me. With the whole thing with Deion Sanders' son, what he got three of them. One's a media person, which they shape their own media. Then there's one of one's another guy's, I think it was the Carolina Panthers. He's with some Southern team. And then you got Shador that everybody's talking about. He's a quarterback, fourth string, fifth string, whatever string quarterback, fourth string. Sorry, quarterback for Cleveland. But all the focus is on all this kind of stuff around them. And you say, what's going on? Because it's media, they're selling stuff, da. But I was thinking about, my thing is the source for things. Like years ago, this was like in the 70s, no, maybe it's in the 80s. Anyway, there was a commentator, I won't mention it. I know his name, but I'm not going to leave it alone. And he said something disparaging about, look at that monkey or something, whatever the trigger words of those days was. But what he also said, maybe it wasn't him, maybe it was somebody else, a person of that ilk, then, 70s, 80s, that kind of thing. Maybe it wasn't the 90s. Maybe it was the 90s. He said, well, basically he was saying black people are now becoming quarterbacks, some are becoming coaches, and pretty soon and I think maybe he was a head coach. No, he wasn't a head coach. No, he was in the booth. He said, at some point, there's not going to be any jobs for us, meaning the white middle-aged men or the white men that went up through this. There's not going to be any position for us. And lo and behold, in 2025, hey, think about it. You have all these people you can listen to, but you have ex-football players that are doing comedy. They think about podcasts. They're doing podcasts and stuff like that. You have all kinds of analysis. Even if they get somebody like if they fire somebody like Shannon Sharp, they'll say something different like that. So the thing is, yeah, but because you don't want to do meritocracy, so what's going to happen is so many people in the world, so many avenues. Oh, you take your stuff out, you go over there, and we'll just leave us alone. But they keep on bothering us. I don't know why they keep on following us. Stealing the South Sudan people. The whole thing about the Sirius satellite, the Sirius star. That the Dogon people found, and NASA they're just now saying, oh yeah, that's right, or whatever. In fact, there's another. I like these little things. NASA says that, they say that, I think they're talking to Dogon people. They talk to aliens. They say they talk to people that came down. I don't know, don't care. We'll see what happens. Okay. Let me continue on my little, morning, my Grand Rising rant. It's not really a Grand Rising report because I'm suspending them until I get back to India, I think. Or maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. Anyway. No, maybe here when I get up a little earlier, because when the sun rises now, it's cold. I don't like the cold. That's why I'm dressed like this. But now it's like, ooh, it's warm. Now it's almost 9. I guess it's 9 o'clock now, and it's getting to be like real spring. So it's lovely out here in Gubeva, in the village, right? And the village doesn't wake up early anyway. So there you go. So I'm the only one walking around. Me and the doggy. But she's pregnant. She's going to drop it any time. I don't be walking her, and then all of a sudden she decides to have a baby on the road, or babies on the road. I don't want to do that. Back to the point what I was saying. So when you look at all these things that's being the biggest thing right now is Nigeria, because there's this multi-billionaire, whatever have you. He has a situation where he's an oil guy, where he wants to he's doing it. All the oil is going to be refined and like it should have been. And Nigeria is not going to whatever. And that's upsetting the people who have this stuff in place and who get rich from what's in place. This is what's happening with politics. These governments don't want to change. These people that want to change don't want to follow the Sahel group, is because they got their stuff in place, and so they want they call it the status quo. They want things to continue as they always continue, which you can't blame them. I mean, I'm not blaming them, but it's like, okay, fine, but y'all keep on going, doing what you do. Take your money, you put it in Luxembourg or wherever you put your money in the islands there, or the protectorate over there. Go ahead, you do that. We're doing something else over here. You get scatterlong over there, and this stuff is happening so fast. I don't think they can keep up, and it's on multi levels. I want to go back to the football then, because what's happening there is that you have a situation a few years ago when the Raiders, Lamar Jackson, talk about Lamar. How about Lamar? The Lamar Jackson came on and said, saying, oh, he's the way his style, his running quarterback, all the rest of that stuff. Well, back then, I mean, that was the standard. It's, oh yeah, okay. Then all of a sudden they started to get all these mobile quarterbacks. They put a premium on them. So, but now you have a quarterback that not only he's all that stuff, but he's working with his other brother works with the media. They're pumping the media which causes a perception of everything. But his media presence is more profound than their old legacy, whatever it is, media presence, and they're not liking that, So this is also very interesting, And then plus, I want to mention 2 other people, if I can, before I end this rant. I guess it's a rant now. One is I mentioned Kendrick Lamar. changed the face of stadium. I mean, I shouldn't say that because stadium tours, stadium tours. But he does what Kendrick Lamar does what he does. Hey, Pulitzer Prize for hip hop does this da 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 da. So that whole music thing has changed because of him and a bunch of other people. Okay, and then I look at something like uh, 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 Black Panther. Sinners, the brother from that, the director, right? He done changed the face of things too. So now you have the one black person, black man, whatever, comes through, black women, comes through and changing the face of things, being the whatever, but then others, they know the others are behind. And pretty soon, hey, if we're just going to take over. Because, as we know, let's think with it. Think about this. I always say this. If I found this a long time ago, I read a lot. Back, I guess you said if the country didn't have slavery, I'm talking about the United States now, my country of origin, because as you know, I'm an American African. That means I carry an American passport, but I have an African mentality. And I live in Africa. I live a bunch of places, Africa, India, whatever states. I run around the planet, right? Anyway, the point is, when you have a situation where people are trying to put you down and you raise yourself up, and they're putting you down, they put you down while taking your resources. So when the country had the slavery thing, and they were all Protestants, whatever they were, you know how they do the pray, or Catholic, Protestant up north, no, Protestant down south, and Baptist, whatever they are, and Catholics up north. They all have the same. I was raised a Catholic. They have the same kind of liturgies, and the same kind of their spirit is sort of subdued because they don't have an outgoing spirit. So they're going to, you get a homily like, oh my God, with the candles and washing down the thing like that. But the black church, they're raising the roof and stuff like that. Well, it wasn't for that. This country, United States, would have been flat, to no spirit, no nothing. They would still run over to Africa if that's where the spirit is. I don't know. But the point really is that life, spirit, comes the way it comes, and most of the time, black people on the planet have more spirit than the subdued other people who they try to take everything, but they can't take the spirit. That's the problem. That's what I'm trying to say. You can't take spirit. You can't manufacture spirit. You can't fake spirit. Or you can try, or you can. What you have to do is tap into spirit, and basically, let me just say, most of the world, they do not know how to tap into spirit, because even in their things are still stayed. There's no releasing of the spirit, because the spirit is in you. You have to release. And then I'm saying all this because it's Sunday right now. Make like this a Sunday sermon. Yeah. Anyway, so that's that's my rant. Yeah, let's make this a rant. That's my rant for this morning. And like I said, I'm chilling down on my rants, my extemporaneous spokes things what's on my brain. My next thing is, I guess when the doggy has a baby, maybe we'll do something. I don't know, but they're going to be a lot smaller. This is one of my long ones. Why? Because I felt like it. I'm sitting out here, it's nice and peaceful here. Oh, I don't know what degrees it is. Maybe it's like 15 degrees Celsius right now, but it's like no wind. Get that vitamin D. Got sun in my nose and stuff like that. Because every morning I get a little, whatever it is. Later on in the day, I'm better. Anyway, the way you should be. Okay, so I'm going to let y'all go. Why? Because I've been ranting. I knew you don't need to hear this stuff. So that's the way it is. I'll talk to you later, right? Okay.